to Pop Fiction, where you'll find all the news and reviews in pulp culture that's right to type. Today's top story, the DC Universe and Warner Brothers television group announced their plans for some new and upcoming shows on their DCU digital streaming service, including Doom Patrol, Titans, Young Justice, and the up-and-coming adult animated series, The New Harley Quinn. Now, this is good, bad, and kind of indifferent for the DCU digital streaming service because of, we've talked about this before, you know, they're kind of, I think it's, what is it, AT&T is coming out with their streaming service, and it's all affiliated time.
There's more streaming services than content now.
Well,
okay?
and people are like pulling, like from like Netflix and stuff, they're pulling their stuff, their content from there because they're going into their own. So they were actually kind of wondering shows like Doom Patrol and Titans if they were going to come back because they had such strong first seasons.
Did they?
Yeah, but you know, they were kind of like worried.
I have to ask
whether or not.
JB, you're the resident DC person. Doom Patrol, is it any good?
Doom Patrol, it's popular now. I thought it was one of those greatly underrated comics when it came out.
Well, what about the show?
I never watched the show.
And also Doom Patrol, not to step on your lines, but Doom Patrol was one of those shows or one of those books that came out before X-Men, but X-Men was very, very close to Doom Patrol. But X-Men was definitely a more popular book. Yeah. And definitely now with the movies and everything like that.
It ended up being the Coke to their Pepsi.
Right. So then when Doom Patrol came out on the show, people were like, hey,
you guys are aping X-Men.
Exactly.
See if they...
But I'd say Doom Patrol, I haven't seen, I would admit, I haven't seen any episodes, but I hear Brendan Fraser is amazing.
Really?
Yeah, he's really good.
You know what? I've been waiting for his comeback. I'm going to give it a burn now.
I'm still waiting to see The Outsiders. Another greatly underrated, but now picking up steam.
The Outsiders.
The old Outsiders was so
That was good.
Yeah.
I read some of those books.
You know, if they put The Outsiders on, I might think about paying for the streaming service.
Anything's possible.
Well, that happens when you're not a real fan. I'll shell out all my dollars. I'm not paying for a Marvel streaming service. I'm saying that right now.
DC Plus, I might get that. I'm gonna get it. I mean, especially after what they just announced. JB?
Marvel introduced their lineup for Phase 4 at SDCC, and here we go. May 1st, 2020, The Black Widow. November 5th, 2020, The Eternals.
Wow.
February 12th, 2021, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
That's
May 7th, 2021, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. And November 5th, 2021, Thor, Love and Thunder.
Ooh. Now, of course, when they were in Hall H, they said a couple of other things as well. They also introduced their lineup of shows, including Hawkeye, WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, as well as Loki. And you know, and everyone was already some of those shows they already kind of knew. Some of them they got a little more excited, you know, when the cast starts coming out. But two things I want to say. One, with Shang-Chi, it was when that first was announced that they were looking for it, the lead guy who got it actually sent out a tweet the day was like, hey, holla at me, you know, hey guys, come look at me, you know, Marvel Studios. And of course, 4 days before Comic-Con, they hired him to star, told him to come down to San Diego so we could present you. And that's crazy. They say that Doc Strange, that's going to be the first official MCU horror movie. And there was a huge pop when they announced Thor 4, Love and Thunder, when Natalie Portman came out.
And grabbed the hammer.
Yeah, Taika Waititi presented her with the Thor hammer, saying that she was going to be the new female Thor, the Jane Foster Thor. When because in the books, because in the books, I believe at one point Thor was sleeping around with so many people, they deemed him not worthy, and Jane Foster was then deemed worthy to hold Mjolnir. So
I'd like to see the Eternals.
I'm in the bag. I know I'm in the bag. The cast looked attractive. I like that. And then at the end of it, Kevin Feige surprised everybody at Comic-Con with the announcement that Mahershala Ali And I am so sorry. I am stepping all over your advice. Ralphie, go on and say that last bit.
Yeah, that's all right.
No, go ahead. That's you.
I can't see it anyway. It's in the way of the thing. I can't read it.
Kevin Feige surprised everyone at Comic-Con with the announcement of Mahershala Ali will star as Blade in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I was happy to hear that too.
And I'm sorry. I stepped on it. And then JB like, well, I'm going to go ahead and take it all to the hole. We know probably that was your play. We know that we call that in the huddle.
All right.
But it's okay.
I'm you know. I'm a giver.
Did you see the video at all? 'Cause I didn't go to.
I just saw a little bit of the video.
Well, it was good that after they do all this announcements, the crowd pretty much was elated. They're clapping. They're so happy. Everything came out, and he said, "Oh, I got one more thing to tell you." And then he had Mahershala come out, and he goes, and then Feige goes, "Oh wow, hey, we ain't got a hat. Do you have your own hat?" And he grabs a hat because everyone had a hat with their movies that they were representing. And then when he threw on the Blade hat, and then they threw the Blade in the background, everybody blew up. Even Wesley Snipes, which I feel like is good of him, that he put out the thing, "Oh man, look at, way to go, son. You out there, And people say that Wesley won't be in the next Blade movie, but I have a sneaking suspicion
they're gonna give him throw him a bone.
They're gonna throw him a bone. He gonna be something. Either he gonna be an old vampire, or there was another Daywalker before Blade, or maybe he might even be the bad guy, one of the big bads. I don't know, man. He still looks good. I saw him in the Expendables.
Yeah,
he looks looking great. Wesley.
He did well in that movie.
He did.
Was a good character.
Before we had the X-Men, Blade was that was a real good comic book movie for us.
Speaking of Wesley Snipes, I think this national treasure is being treated awfully. He's had so many direct-to-video movies. Somebody needs to put him in something. Tarantino needs to resurrect his career.
I'm
his last movie or something.
What was the movie where he played the agent for the UN, and it was really awful? It came shortly after Passenger 57. The movie. That was like the downfall. That's where he started hitting all those.
I think it was Murder at
1600.
No, that's where he played the detective investigating murder at the White House. No, he played an agent for the UN and had Donald Sutherland in it. I think that was the first of his bad choices of movies.
Well, he wasn't doing well. Yes, they were bad choices of movies, but what we know now is at that time he was in some really serious straits with the government, with tax, IRS. He had his whole thing, and I don't know if he wasn't paying his taxes or something. He ended up doing time.
He had to do the Nick Cage route, man.
Yeah,
how many movies Nick Cage does?
He did all those movies just so he could pay back his back taxes. Yeah, and they still doing jail.
Yeah, for years.
This week's review: The Boys, Season 1, Episode 1. When superheroes abuse their superpowers instead of using them for good, the boys embark on a heroic quest to expose the truth about the Seven and Vought, the conglomerate that covers up their dirty secrets.
All right, I haven't watched this yet.
This is not what you think it is. It wasn't what I thought it was.
Yeah.
And then when I saw it, no spoiler alerts, but there's a guy who kind of plays like the Aquaman of their Justice League. Mm-hmm. And there's a scene where they get a new person in the Justice League, and he has to show her around. Mm-hmm. And she's like, "Oh, well, I don't want to, say anything, but I kind of had a crush on you when I was a kid." And then she turns around, he had completely dropped trowel. And she's like, "Oh my God." And he's like, "Yeah, if you want to be in the Justice League, you got to take care of the kid." And then, the next scene shows her throwing up in the bathroom because she's like, she had to do it. And I was like, wow. They're bad. They're horrible, degenerate human beings.
I feel like this is what we would do if we had superpowers.
And the funny thing about it, I feel like culturally, it's almost a shot in the arm for a lot of those people who feel like there is that superhero fatigue. There's been so many superhero movies that come out. This is the antithesis of how those people feel and react to what these superheroes are, because we are putting them up monetarily speaking by spending billions of dollars going to watch these movies. We're showing that these guys are godlike. You look at Robert Downey Jr. You don't see Robert Downey Jr. anymore. You see Tony Stark. He comes in. They say, "Hey, Iron Man's here."
But he said, listen, I am not my work, all right? That is separate from me. That's what Robert Downey Jr.
And
said.
that's why Tony Stark looks like him, and he looks like Tony Stark. You could play somebody in the movie, but you look like him now. They made Tony Stark look like you.
Well,
You know, Iron Man has the one feature that the least number of superheroes have. You know what it is?
The goatee.
Facial hair, mustache.
yeah,
It's like less than 1% of all superheroes. Superheroes are clean shaven.
that's true.
Yeah.
Even though
Or they have the 5 o'clock shadow.
Or they can
Yeah.
block it. Just-
yeah. Well, Ralphie D recommends Teen Witch.
Now,
This
it
is
took
from-
me a minute. I had
You had to look for this.
to look for this one.
This is from
I
1989.
think Frank was excited though.
High school nerd Louise Miller, played by Robin Lively, learns from psychic Madame Serena, played by the great Zelda Rubinstein. You know her from Poltergeist.
Okay.
This house is cleansed.
Yeah. Okay.
That she's possessed with magical abilities that will begin working on her 16th birthday. When the prophecy proves true, the teenager uses her new powers to get what she's always desired: popularity. After getting back at some, yeah, that's right.
That's all. I get all these powers and all I want to do
I
is
just want to be popular at school. After getting back at some bullies, the young witch casts a spell over hunky jock Brad Powell. It's always Brad.
That never works out either. You know, when you get your powers and you use them for love,
Yeah, use them for love. Or for
shenanigans
personal gain.
always ensue.
Personal gain. But Louise soon learns that getting what you
Ah.
want isn't all it's cracked up to be, just like it says. This movie is, I hate to use the word cheesy, but from 1989, it was supposed to be a sequel, possibly the threequel of Teen Wolf. So,
so
yeah,
it
but
was
then-
in the same universe as Teen
It's-
Wolf?
I
Now,
think
is there
it was-
any throws or shot?
No,
They mentioned
throws, no
Scott.
shots. They don't mention Scott or anything.
his town that he lived in.
I don't.
Hey, there was
So-
a basketball team that had a wolf in it.
With
you
a
know?
fat guy on the team.
They called it the Beavers, but they were wolves. It was very weird.
There was a guy named Styles, sold weed. Good guy.
Good guy.
Nah, none of that. But this was supposed to be just a female Teen Wolf, but they changed it to a female witch because girls are witches and not wolves, apparently. Ginger snaps. Watch it. I'm Ralphie D. That's news to me.
I'm Coolwater Kurt. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
We'd like to hear what you think. Leave us a comment down below and let your opinion be heard.
If you like this video, please check out others on our channel like This Weekend and Retro Recast.
Yeah.
I'm JB. I'd like to give a shout out to my man
AM.
at Comics Most Wanted. Like him, follow him, subscribe. And this is 252 Pop Fiction, where you hear it first.
What happened?
What happened? I went to my
Adonis, pull yourself together.